Welcome back here to Bleed Blue 365. Uh, Kentucky gets the win in Taxslayer Bowl. Uh, I apologize already. I got a busy day ahead of me. This is just this is just how I got to do it today. Um, it was a really it was a good game, like performance wise, but it got a really heated game because it was a lot of pushing and shoving going on. I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong, but it costs your team yards, either on offense or defense. It doesn't matter. Um, so I mean, Kentucky had 10 for 103 yards was the penalties. NC State was like 7 for 45. And that doesn't even count what 6, 7, maybe even more offsetting personal fouls, unsportsmanlike and personal fouls. Um, eh, you know, but like I said, Kentucky gets the win. Um, 23-21. Yeah, they didn't cover the spread, uh, so Vegas kind of got it right. They gave up almost 300 yards passing. I think it was 289, and only like 50 yards rushing. Which usually, I think Kentucky averages giving up about 250 yards passing. So, and that's like good for one of the top SEC, passing defenses. Um, surprisingly, but the 50 yards rushing though, I mean, it's really good for us. Because I want to say we average giving up 150 200 yards somewhere around there. Um, but NC State, it seemed like their game plan was to throw the ball. Um, you know, I could even pull a little bit of an Uncle Lou here and say, really this game was 23-14. But I'm not going to do that. I mean, we gave up a garbage touchdown playing prevent defense. Stoops does it. Kirby does it. You know, so I really ain't much I could say about that. Um, but hey, all that matters is Kentucky got the win. Kentucky ran for, well, I think it was 289 on the ground. AJ Rose got the MVP of the Taxslayer Bowl with 150 some yards rushing. Chris Rodriguez ran for 83 and 2 scores. Uh, our passing game looked decent at the beginning of the game, um, but that was it. Because when NC State made us, when they blitzed us, they stacked the box and came after us and kind of slowed our running game down. When they, the little they did. Well, there was some possessions they did it. Um, Terry just, and I love Terry, but it's not cutting it. So we're off to next year now. Liam Cohen will be joining us after the Rams season is over. Eric Wolford, our new offensive line coach, he'll be joining us here soon. So I mean, the two things we don't have right now, coaching wise, that I know of, is our running back coach, which from what I understand, Stoops is actually in no hurry to fill that void. Um, and we don't carry a special teams coach. I don't think a whole lot of teams really do. Usually it's a coach on your team or coaches, They do kind of a combined effort. Uh, it's just how they keep it down. Uh, payroll down, and I mean, so and Liam Cohen is our offensive coordinator and quarterback coach. Eddie Graham was our offensive coordinator and running back coach. Uh, Darren Henshaw was our quarterback coach. Of course, then we lost John Schlarman, right before the Vandy game. Um, I'm sorry for no halftime report. I really wanted to do one, and I tried. Um, I had a couple phone calls I had to take and go, and I just never was able to get it done. And then halftime was over, and so I apologize. No halftime. Um, Kentucky was up 13-0 at halftime. It should have been 17-0, but uh, it's what it is, man. Um, you know, 5 o'clock. Kentucky basketball plays. I think I'm going to do that video here as soon as I get done making this one. Um, I'm proud of the boys. I'm proud of the football team. They're 4-8. Commentators said it repeatedly. Uh, you know, outside Kentucky fans and program, a lot of people make comments that if this was a regular season, this is probably an 8-4 team. Maybe 9-3. I've even heard some 10-2s in there. Um, but this wasn't. This was a 10-game schedule, all SEC schedule. And if you really look at it, we really got blown out by Florida and Alabama. I mean, but who didn't get blown out by Alabama this year? Florida? I mean, but they got blown out most of that game. The first half, at least. And they came back in the second. Um, I don't. But that Alabama game is kind of where Stoops realized that we were moving on from our offensive coordinator and quarterback coach. Um, I don't know, man. That just. I'm excited for what was going. Was about to come. I really like this Liam Cohen guy. I've heard a lot of interviews by him. Um, Eric Woodford, he's been around. He's a Youngstown boy. Uh, but you know, we still lost to Ole Miss. We still lost to Missouri. Those are the two games that I circle that we shouldn't have lost. Uh, I I kind of thought we'd be 5-5, 6-4. Um, I didn't think we were going to beat Tennessee. So it's kind of like I said, we win games that we shouldn't. We were not expected to win. But we also lose games that we have no business losing. And in my opinion, Ole Miss and Missouri both were games we should never lost. Um, Auburn, I mean, the way that game played out, there should never been that game shouldn't have been. We really shouldn't have lost that game because we had our chances. But it's any given Saturday. The movie is any given Sunday, but I'm telling you, it's any given Saturday. Any team can win. Um, it is what it is, guys. But I'm just gonna take the 5-6 record this year. Um, we're and just be optimistic about next year. I like what we're doing. I like what we got moving forward. We signed some pretty big recruits. Uh, yeah, it's recruiting for Kentucky, man. We just kind of we get those high 3 stars, and then we get the 4 stars that really Alabama and Georgia really don't want. Even Florida. But we also steal some of those recruits, some 4 stars from them. But we develop players here, and that's the one thing I like about what we do here. That I like about the coaching staff. The quarterback room, no, not so much, and that's why Darren Henshaw is no longer with us. And, I mean, in all honesty, in the past 4 years, we've had Steven Johnson. Past 5 years, Steven Johnson and Terry Wilson. You saw Sawyer Smith come in until he got injured. Um, and then Lynn Bowden took over. Uh, but just in all honesty, the day you saw Terry Wilson come in and take over the quarterback position here at Kentucky, did you really see any improvements? I mean, the only answer I got for you is his turnovers are down. Um, you know, his first year here, he threw more interceptions. Had more turn. I was gonna go interceptions, but he had more turnovers than he did touchdowns. I'm just putting them all together. He did have more interceptions than he threw touchdowns, but he also had more fumbles. Fumbles and interceptions combined, he had more than any type of touchdown he had, passing or rushing. Um, but the guy's a winner, and I think that's why I love what he did here for us so much. Um, the guy, he's just a winner. This group of seniors, I don't, I couldn't find a post game. So the only thing I've really seen was the ESPN version. Usually I listen to the radio post game football and listen to Stoops. Um, but I've told you already that the only people I've seen, I'm hearing that could come back next year who are seniors, um, is Devontae Robinson says yes. But there's word that Justin Riggs might come back. Um, Josh Ali, it's a weird year. Eligibility didn't count. I mean, I would welcome them all back. I'm Landon Young and Drake Jackson both are just way, way too high on the draft boards to come back. Our underclassmen, we do have 2 underclassmen though too. But I'm not gonna say underclassmen. Like I want to say they're both juniors. We have 2 juniors that are thinking about leaving after this year. Putting their name out there in the NFL drafts. You got Darian Kennard, our right tackle. He had a big personal foul today, number 70. But you also have Jarman Davis, number 44 on defense. So, he had an interception today. Um, he he was a backup to Chris Oates. Chris Oates had um, a medical issue that nobody's really been put out there, and there's some legal stuff there that's been kind of thrown out. But nobody can really say what's going on. His mom won't even put it out. So, um, but he's confined to a wheelchair, um, doing good. Um, but that's how Jarman Davis became a player for us this year. He probably would have had a key role, been a role player in the linebacker row. But Chris O's being out, we got Jarman Davis came in, took his spot, and he worked himself up and caught some attention from the NFL. So I can't guarantee he'll come back next year. He'll have a spot because I don't think Chris Oates is going to be uh, available next year. I mean, Chris Oates is still a part of the team and everything else, but It's going to take him a little bit to get back. Um, man, I'm in that down here in dirty Tennessee too. By the way, guys, I hate this flipping state. Heading straight for Knoxville over here. But I mean, I'm getting a little distracted. But I mean, so personally, I think Justin Rigg might come back. Um, Devontae Robinson's already said he is. Josh Ali, man, just by the one interview I saw him do pre-Taxslayer, it sounds like he's coming back. Um, I, like I said, I'll welcome all back. That's up to them, though. Uh, if I had to choose, if I really had to go out there and say, I don't know if Kennard will come back, and I'm not too sure if Jermaine Davis will either. Um, so might be two players we lose this year that we weren't expecting. But Kentucky's built up a strong roster and has developed some really good players. Um, even if we do lose them, and so, but that's it, man. It's a big congratulations to Kentucky football on a 5-6 year COVID year, winning the Taxslayer Bowl, beating NC State. We'll see. Let's see what next year has in for us. Uh, thanks for tuning in. If you ain't already done so, do me a favor and go hit the like button. If you ain't already subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Uh, and share this with your buddies. Maybe y'all find something in here y'all don't agree with. Um, leave a comment. But thanks for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate it. I try to be as active as I can be, and I'll catch you next video. Peace.